So today we're going to be looking at representing relations. So in this problem here, we're looking at a relation that's currently set up as a table of values. And the first one says, can we describe this in terms of words? So that means a sentence that's going to describe the first set with the second set. Right? So usually this is actually indicated in the problem. So here it says animals can be associated with the classes they are in. That is a sentence that describes the relation. So I can write it either in that wording or with some different wording. I could say animals and their associated classes. Okay. And then for B, for the first one says, can we represent it in terms of ordered pairs? So remember, we always start by opening our set bracket and then creating an ordered pair with the domain and the range being separated by a comma. So let's write this out, ant and insecta. And I'll do this for each one. And when you finish, make sure you close that set bracket. Okay? And then in the second one, it says as an arrow diagram. So we did talk about writing this out. So writing the first full set in one circle. And usually we put whatever the independent set is. So in this case, that'll be the animals. Okay? So put them all in one circle, one oval. And then we put all of the classes or the dependent in the other. Okay? But remember, you don't need to repeat something if it's there twice, because in this, we can actually just create multiple arrows. Right? So let's associate with some arrows. So ant is insecta, eagle is aves, snake is reptila, but also turtle is reptila, and then whale is mammalia. So one last thing we need to make sure we do is describe what the arrow means. So in the class, okay, because this will say an ant is in the class Insecta. So this one here, we're looking at different types of animals or different breeds of dogs, and then their mean heights. So the first one says, can we represent it as a table? So I am going to abbreviate, but make sure when you do write this out that you label what the title of each of these columns is. So breed of dog, and make sure you're being very specific, and mean height in centimeters. So we have the Afghan Hound, we have the Chihuahua, we have the Corgi, the Golden Retriever, the German Shepherd, and the Malamute. So let's read the graph here. We have a 75 centimeters, a 20, a 30, a 60, a 60, and a 65. And if we were to create, again, an arrow diagram, because this is one of the newer ways to represent, again, I'm going to include all of the values from my domain in the first circle, and then all the values from my range in the second circle. And don't repeat. So I'll just put that 60 there once. And then I'm going to attach with some arrows. And in the last problem, I chose to use arrows that are different colors. That's not necessary. I just like to be able to differentiate sometimes when there's lots of overlapping arrows. So I'm going to write that my arrow means a mean height of, because I can say this animal has a mean height of 75. So last up, I am going to change this to Eastern since we're over here living on the East Coast. So can we write this as a sentence? So describing a relationship in words, You could say the eastern Canadian cities that are within 1 hour driving distance of other eastern Canadian cities. That could be your description in words. And then to create two ordered pairs, we just need to reason it out. So you could come up with many different examples. You could say Bedford and Hammonds Plains could be an example. Dartmouth and Halifax. Truro and Halifax. Okay, so come up with whatever comes to mind.